Hello, welcome back. Today I want to look at the woods surrounding Stafford Castle, which is a ruined castle 2 miles west of the city centre, so it's just on the edge of town. One side you've got the town, other side you've just got fields. Here are some pictures of Stafford Castle. It's a bit of a sort of tourist attraction. A medieval ruined castle. You can see all the woods around it. And you can walk in those woods, and there's little footpaths. People walk their dogs in it. There's all houses all around, so it's easy for people to get to. I'll just show you on Google Earth so you can get an idea of how close this place is to civilization. So there's the castle, and you can see all the fields around it, and then a main motorway here, main road there. There's the town and all the housing estates where everybody lives. So it's not exactly in the middle of nowhere. So I came up here from the road, drove up to the car park there, and just walked around in these woods around here. And it was a beautiful misty autumnal day, leaves everywhere. You can see this is not exactly pristine wilderness. There's dog walkers and families all the time coming to look at the castle and walk their dogs and things like that. So why have we got all the signs of Sasquatch right here in Stafford? These are not bushcrafters, as some people will have you believe, because you can't stay overnight here, you can't camp here. There's no way anybody would do bushcrafting here. I mean, as soon as it gets light in the morning, you can have all the people walking their dogs. You'd have to come in darkness and then leave as soon as it got light. It wouldn't be possible, wouldn't be worth it. This has been bent over or just placed there. A lot of trees have been torn out of the ground and just flung about and rested upside down with the side branches and things pulled off, snapped off. So this is what we find, exactly the same thing in Cannock Chase, and also exactly what they find in, I don't know, the Yukon, Vancouver Island, Alberta, Canada, the Pacific Northwest, same exact thing. There is not space inside that to sleep or to shelter. This is not a blind made by deer hunters. I showed you on the map where it is. There's people in there all the time walking their dogs. We're like literally 10 feet from the footpath. So it's not people camping or children making dens or people making a hunting blind. Massive logs and things just flung about. Always the same style, the side branches and the bark peeled off. And big logs and stuff placed around as if to sit on. So every 30 meters, 20-30 meters or so, in that bit of woodland I showed you around the castle, you come across one of these. They're everywhere in that little bit of woodland around the castle, and this is in town, basically, on the edge of town, within 2 miles of the town centre, surrounded by housing estates and roads. So if this is Witches, it would make sense, because it's easy access, it's got a car park and everything. But they'd have to conduct all their rituals in pitch blackness, because during daylight hours everybody's up there walking their dogs. And if it's a Sasquatch, that's even more disturbing, because Sasquatch is living in town or coming in from very close by. Big ones placed nearby, very heavy ones, very big heavy logs. Somebody's got them from somewhere, brought them in here, made this thing out of cut pieces apparently that they've found, used the fork of the tree there. In case you're wondering, this thing down here, this orange thing, this lump here, is what do they call it? A Halloween lantern made out of a pumpkin, and there were a few of them lying around the woods there, sort of smashed and just lying around. And this is, Halloween was like a week before this video was taken, so somebody had been up there and placed Halloween lanterns. Halloween being a big witchy festival, druidic festival. I don't know, was it children? Were the lanterns brought in by the Bigfoot from somewhere else? He found them in town in someone's garden or something. I don't know, but I'm just saying, just pointing it out. There's these lanterns, pumpkin head lanterns lying around. That's a very big heavy piece there, that one. And look at the size of this piece here, massive, whole tree. right next to the car park, this one. These ones here, all the bark pulled off and the branches snapped off. So who's going to sleep in that? It's only 3 feet high. You wouldn't fit in there. It's not bushcrafters. And it's got all these big logs inside anyway. They always put sort of furniture inside it, so there wouldn't be any sleeping space for sleeping. So it's on a slope. It's on a slope. This is not a shelter for sleeping in. There's the footpath, and as you can see, it's very popular with dog walkers and tourists. This is not somewhere where you could go camping. It's on a steep kind of sloping. It's got that big tree through it. This is not bushcrafting. So anybody that says these are bushcraft structures, they're lying, and I don't think they're just incompetent. I think they're deliberately trying to mislead people. And this next one here, it's just within, this is 25 yards away from the one I just showed you. The whole place is just full of them. So this one is within 25 yards of the last one. You can see the people walking their dogs. It's on a slope again. There's no room to sleep in there. This is not shelter. It's got a little bit of litter in it, a bit of plastic. That's a trinket. They always put a trinket inside, normally. It's not waterproof, it's not shelter. So, bushcraft excuse is misdirection. They're lying to you. From that one, another one. On a slope, not for sleeping in. Quite large pieces. There's no children up here making dens. TP structure. So the whole place is just full of them. Absolutely full of them. See this archway over the trail here? Interesting. Any more structures? Back to the pathway. A little bit further down the path, this tree here being completely smashed up, stripped and strewn around and displaced. You can see its root ball there, sort of what's left of it. That's been smashed up. And yeah, this is what I noticed the other day. Just a moment. This is similar to what we get in Cannock Chase. Bits of tape just tied around tree trunks. Same up here, look. And all this is a sort of wallow area where they've trampled it and smashed up all the trees and stuff. There's a few more structures around the corner, I think. Oh, there's a structure right there. Let's get to it. Hang on. There you go. Would you want to sleep in there? I wouldn't. Maybe a dwarf could sleep in there. It's not very big. It's not really very... It's obviously an old one that's fallen down, but... There's the path right there, so... You're not allowed to camp up here, stay overnight. So it's just impossible. This area's all been trampled and smashed up. Modified. There's a few more structures around here. See if I can find them. That looks like something's been done with it. Modified in some way. There we go. So there's the path right there, and this is on a slope again.
So totally unsuitable, and there's no room in there for sleeping. This is not for sleeping. It's got all these X's all over the place. I wonder if that's a coincidence. Sorry, I'm in such a rush all the time when I do my videos. But, you know, I'm always on the way to somewhere. People are waiting for me, and I'm not retired, you know, I can't just spend all day in the woods like I wish I could. Let's get to the others, because there's a few more, then I've got to go. One thing I notice is that they're often next to footpaths or car parks. If this was kids building dens, they'd find somewhere a little bit more secluded and off the beaten track, so they could have a, you know, proper little den, little hideout. This one here, this looks like some kind of fir tree, conifer. It's a proper little grotto they've made here, and it's got those logs, kind of furniture inside. It's like a mock-up of a house. It's got these cross members, these lintels here by the door, which I've pointed out before. So anyway, I think that's all I want to do today. Yeah, sorry it's so rushed, but there you go. You know, fuck it. But it's just the way it is, unfortunately. You know, it's pretty good over there. Wouldn't mind having a look. This is pretty freaking awesome right here. This is right next to the castle. There's a bloke over there. Don't know what he's doing. I mean, this looks alright, doesn't it? So there's the castle up there through those woods. There's the woods with all the trails and everything. This is a pretty cool place. I mean, if you wanted to bring your radio-controlled car or something up here, or even your scrambler, something like that, it would be pretty cool. I don't know who owns it or what they do with it. It just looks like it's had buildings on it and they've all been wrecked, demolished. Pretty cool place. Anyway, I'm gonna head back to the car park now, and then I've got to get out of here.